All right, listen, a few years ago, I was in the exact same spot as you, okay? I was staring at my bank account and I was thinking, how the hell am I supposed to save $7,000 for a Roth IRA when I am barely covering rent? You see, $7,000, it felt impossible. That's $583 a month. Like, where does that even come from? But you see, then I discovered some research. It was from Nobel Prize winning economist Richard Thaler, and it completely changed everything for me. You see, his study, it actually showed that people who used a systematic approach increased their savings rates from 3.5% to 13.6% in just 40 months. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but that's nearly quadrupling their retirement savings. And the key, it wasn't that they suddenly made more money or anything. No, they literally just built a better system around their management of it. Now, see, I'm 29 right now. I've actually maxed out my Roth IRA for a few years now, and for the foreseeable future, I'll be able to do the same. I've got $34,000 in the account growing completely tax-free. It's on track for over $3 million by the time I'm 65. And the difference between me a few years ago, panicking over my bank account, and me today, again, it wasn't some massive salary increase. In fact, I actually took a pay cut to work at my current company. But what changed was I started implementing a framework based on decades of behavioral economist research. Now, today I'm breaking down that exact system. I call it the 5-stream method. And if you're sitting there right now, like $7,000 sounds impossible, I was you, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make it work. So let's get into it. So first, I want to talk about the psychology of the number because this is really important. So everybody's throwing around this $7,000 a year number because that's the max you can contribute into your Roth IRA. But there's actually a concept in behavioral economics that's called mental accounting. It's research from Richard Thaler again that's showing that we treat money differently depending on how it's framed or categorized. So when you look at it at a holistic standpoint, $7,000 feels psychologically enormous, but let's break it down differently. $7,000 per year is just $583 per month. $583 per month is just $269 per paycheck if you're paid bi-weekly. Or if we break it down even further, that's just $19.18 per day, less than $20. It's the same amount of money, but it hits different because it's just a completely different psychological impact. So again, $7,000, really overwhelming. $19 per day? That seems manageable. But here's the thing, even at $583 a month, it feels like it's impossible because when you're looking at your actual budget, you have no idea where that money's going to come from. It doesn't fit in your budget and it doesn't make sense. And that's where people start to get stuck. They try to find $583 in one specific place in their budget. They can't find it, so they give up. The 5-stream method is different. See, instead of finding $583 in one place, you're going to build 5 separate mini streams, and each of those are going to contribute a portion. This way, you're not dependent on a single source. You've got redundancies, multiple paths to the same goal. So let me break down the framework. Okay, so listen, here are the 5 streams. It's pretty straightforward. Stream 1 is automation. This is going to be automatic transfers from your primary income. Stream 2 is going to be your side income, except this is supplemental income that is specifically designed for your Roth. Then stream 3, which is spending optimization, which is finding money in your current budget through tracking. Stream 4 is going to be windfalls. This is going to be tax refunds, bonuses, unexpected money that's coming in. Stream 5 is going to be the escalator, which is progressive contribution increases over time. Each stream contributes a portion, and when you stack them all together, maxing out your Roth IRA becomes so much more achievable. And let's go through each one. All right, so let's talk about stream 1, which is automation. And keep in mind, this section is based on what's arguably the most influential behavioral economics intervention in retirement savings, the Save More Tomorrow program. You see, in 2001, researchers Bridget Madrian and Dennis Shea published a landmark study in the Quarterly Journal of Economics. And they found that automatic enrollment in 401k plans, they actually increased participation from 49% to 89%. 49, less than half, to a B plus, a solid 86% just by making it automatic. Why does automation work so well? Well, it's because it removes what behavioral economists call decision fatigue. You're not choosing to save every single month. It just happens. You never see the money, so you never have the chance to spend it. And here's my exact setup that kind of saved me from the rut of not affording things, right? $300 automatically transfers from my checking account to my Roth IRA the day after each paycheck hits. So I don't even think about it anymore. I don't decide whether to do it, it just happens. And that equates to $3,600 per year, already 51% of the $7,000 maximum. And here's the thing, after about 2 months, your brain adjusts. If you have $3,000 to spend in your checking account, well, you'll spend close to $3,000. And if you have $2,700 in your account because $300 went to your Roth, you'll spend close to $2,700. Your lifestyle adapts based on what you have readily available. So your goal for Stream 1 is to set up automatic transfers of $250 to $400 per month. Pick an amount you can actually handle and forget it. That's $3,000 to $4,800 per year, somewhere between 43% and 68% of your contributions accomplished through pure automation. And I know what you're thinking. You might not be able to afford that off the bat. Start with something lower, $20, $100, $200, whatever is comfortable for you. Now listen, Stream 2 is going to be side income, okay? And I know it's so annoying to hear everybody beat home how important it is to have side hustles, side incomes, all that stuff. But here's the thing. According to 2024 Bankrate survey of about 2,300 Americans, 36% of people have a side hustle. And the median income from that side hustle, $250 per month. So if you dedicated that median amount just to your Roth IRA, that's $3,000 per year, almost half your max right there. And here's what I actually did before YouTube became my main side income. I actually flipped iPhones on Facebook Marketplace. People sell these things at steep discounts. I'd buy broken phones for like $50 to $100. Sometimes they needed a simple fix like a screen or battery. Sometimes they weren't even broken. People just wanted to upgrade and they were selling cheap. So I'd fix them if they needed it, I'd clean them up, and I'd resell them anywhere between $300 to $500. And I was making somewhere around $400 to $600 per month doing this. And here's the key part. And this is what comes directly from Thaler's mental accounting research. Had I ring-fenced that money before I even made it, and ring-fenced meaning you designate the money for a specific purpose before you earn it, that side hustle money could have had one job. Go to my Roth IRA and fund my retirement. It never would touch my checking account. It would never get mixed with my regular spending money. Facebook Marketplace sale, straight to my Roth IRA. Now, there are so many other side hustles that people can go after based on data, but when it comes to this stuff, I wish that when I was younger, I realized how important the Roth IRA was, and I would have set up specific side incomes to help me achieve the goal of maxing that out. I just wasn't really aware before. Now, you could do things like rideshare, delivering, Uber driving, stuff like that, reselling items, pet sittings. There's just so much ways that you can actually figure out how to fund a large majority of this stuff. And oftentimes you can build a big enough side hustle to completely cover the entire cost of a Roth IRA. But I would say start small, pick one, commit the income to your Roth IRA before you even make your first dollar. And that's ring fencing right there. Your goal for Stream 2, I would say, would be between $200 to $400 per month from supplemental income. And that's another $2,400 to $4,800 per year. Okay, let's talk about Stream 3 here, which is going to be spending optimization. And I know what you're thinking. I've tried everything. I've got no room to spend better and save money. But trust me, if you actually track your expenses, and most people never have, it's so sad. But I'll give you the most simple system that I guarantee you'll find ways to be able to spend more money and save more money. You track every expense for 30 days, then you categorize everything into 3 buckets, okay? Bucket 1 is your essentials. We're talking rent, utility, groceries, insurance. You can't cut those. Then we've got bucket 2, which is value add. Things you use regularly that genuinely improve your life. Maybe we can optimize these, but we're not going to eliminate them. And then there's bucket 3, which is waste. Subscriptions that you don't use, habit spending, impulse purchases, and this is where you can cut ruthlessly. You see, the data from consumer spending surveys shows average Americans spend $250 per month eating out, $200 plus per month on subscriptions, and $100 to $150 per month on coffee and drinks. And I gotta say, I fall into the same trap of this. I actually started a series on my channel where I invest every single dollar I spend on non-necessities directly back into the same companies I buy from, and I'm tracking all of it in this playlist right here if you want to check it out. But it just like is super important here because the optimization strategy is cut your subscriptions by 50%. Most people have subscriptions that they barely use. Cancel half of them. That saves you $100 per month. Meal prep 3 to 4 days a week instead of eating out every day. That saves you about $125 per month. Make coffee at home 4 days a week instead of buying it. That's another $80 per month saved. Total about $305 per month. That's $3,660 per year. And here's the thing. You're not cutting everything. You're still eating out occasionally. You're still buying coffee sometimes. You're keeping the subscriptions that you actually use, but you're just optimizing. And that optimization funds a huge chunk of your Roth IRA. So your goal for Stream 3 is ideally $150 to $300 per month through systematic spending optimization. It's getting to the nitty gritty, tracking your budget. When I did it most recently, I had 2 of the same Netflix subscriptions and I haven't used Netflix in months. So it's insane. Just sit down and do the work. Now listen, let's talk about Stream 4 here, which is going to be Windfalls. This is irregular income like tax refunds, bonuses, gifts, or one-time sales. This is based on research showing that people treat windfall money differently than earned income, okay? In the American Economic Review in 1999, it showed that households exhibit significant spending responses to tax refunds, treating them as windfall income, even though it's literally their own money being returned to them. And here's what's interesting. A large-scale experiment by the researchers at the Brookings Institution in 2016 tested different ways to encourage people to save their tax refund. They found that when people were shown suggested savings allocation, specifically a suggestion to save 75% of their refund, their actual savings rate jumped 64%. Just from the suggestion alone. So here's the data. According to the IRS filing statistics, the average tax refund in 2025 is $3,116. And here's my rule, the 70-30 split. 70% of every windfall goes to your Roth IRA. 30% is yours to spend however you want. This works because research on commitment devices shows that allowing yourself some immediate gratification actually increases your adherence to long-term savings goals. So let's do the math. $3,000 tax refund, $2,100 to your Roth IRA, $900 for yourself. $2,000 work bonus, $1,400 to your Roth IRA, $600 to yourself. Sold something for $500, perfect. $350 to your Roth IRA, $150 for yourself. Get 3 windfalls a year? That's easily $3,000 to $4,000 going into your Roth IRA. Your goal for Stream 4 is $1,500 to $3,000 per year from irregular income. And I guarantee if you go out to your garage, you look around, like even me, I could go in this in my little tech drawer behind me and find a bunch of crap that I'm not using that people would happily buy online. Now listen, Stream 5 is really cool. I call this one the Escalator. It's progressive contribution increases over time. And this is directly based on the Save More Tomorrow program that I mentioned earlier. Now in that original study, they found that 80% of participants who joined the program remained enrolled through multiple pay raises, systematically increasing their savings over time. The key, psychological insight. People find it much easier to commit to future increases than immediate ones. Saying I'll save more starting next quarter, well, it feels easier than I need to save more right now. And here's how the escalator works. You start with whatever you can actually afford, even if it's just $200 per month. That's fine. Then you commit to increasing your contributions by $50 every 3 months. So your schedule looks something like this. So by month 18, you're contributing $450 per month. That's $5,400 per year. Combined with side income, windfalls, and optimization, you're easily going to hit the $7,000 max. And here's why it works. A $50 increase every 3 months is barely noticeable in your monthly budget, but it compounds significantly over time. And research shows that people who gradually increase methods are significantly more likely to reach their savings goals than people who try to go from zero to the maximum immediately. Your goal for Stream 5, if you're not maxing out immediately, implement $25 to $50 increases every 3 to 6 months. This isn't adding dollars today, it's ensuring that you'll be maxing it out within 12 to 18 months. Now listen, with the 5-stream method actually in effect here, I think that there's a clear path to making about $6,700 per year, which is 95% of the way there. And just a little bit more from Stream 5's increases, you could hit the max. Now, it's obviously very tough to do this up front, and it seems really, really daunting. But trust me, even if you're not maxing out your Roth IRA, just starting young, starting today is super important. Getting as much money as you possibly can towards that max is the key part here. I should have been investing more into my Roth IRA, even when I knew I wasn't going to hit the max. I kind of shied away from it. And literally, it is just the best account that I think you could possibly invest in. So you don't need to max out 5 income streams. You can pick 2 or 3 that work best for you in your situation, and you could try to hit the goal as best as you possibly can. Can't do a side hustle income right now? Well, make up for it in one of the other categories. Budget already tight? Focus on Windfalls and the Escalator to grow it over time. Multiple paths, same destination. That's the system.